Good morning, students. I am your science teacher, Mrs. Tanuja. Let's start the chapter number 10, that is respiration in organisms. In this chapter, we will going to learn what is breathing, what is cellular respiration, aerobic and anaerobic respiration, and respiration in other animals, and respiration in plants. Now, let's start respiration or cellular respiration. Every organisms need energy to carry out its life process. We need energy to walk, run, or do any work. Even we require energy to write, read, eat, and talk. While we are sleeping, energy is required. We get this energy from the food which we eat. All living organisms need oxygen for the breakdown of digestion food to obtain energy. Therefore, all living organisms respire to get oxygen from the air they breathe in and bring out the breakdown of digested food to get energy. Respiration involves basically two steps. First one is external respiration, it is also called as breathing, and the internal respiration, it is also called cellular respiration. Breathing means taking in air rich in oxygen and giving out air rich in carbon dioxide by the living organisms with the help of their respiratory organs. Breathing is a part of respiration. So let us learn about the respiration. All living organisms are made up of small microscopic unit is called cell. A cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of an organism. Each cell of an organism performs certain functions such as nutrition, transport, excretion, and reproduction. To perform these functions, the cell needs energy. Even when we are eating, sleeping, or reading, we require energy. But where does this energy come from? Can you say why your parents insist that you should eat regularly? The food has stored energy which is released during respiration. Therefore, all living organisms respire to get energy from food. That's why your parents insist that you should eat the food regularly. During breathing, when we breathe in air that contains oxygen, and when we breathe out that air which is rich in carbon dioxide, the air we breathe in is transported to all parts of the body and ultimately to each cell. In the cells, oxygen in the air helps the breakdown of food, and the process of breakdown of food in the cell with the release of energy is called cellular respiration. Now you understood cellular respiration. It means cellular respiration takes place in the cells of all organisms. In the cell, the food, it means glucose, is break down into carbon dioxide and water using oxygen. When breakdown of glucose occurs with the use of oxygen, it is called aerobic respiration, and when the food is break down without using oxygen, this process is called anaerobic respiration. And breakdown of food release energy in both the respiration, that is aerobic respiration, and in the anaerobic respiration. Now see the chemical equation. The glucose with the use of oxygen release carbon dioxide and water plus energy. Let us take one example to understand anaerobic respiration in proper way. You might be know yeast that is used for making the dosa or idli and bhatura. This batter is used for making the dosa or idli. But how? These is also called as anaerobics. Okay. yeast that can survive in the absence of air. They are called anaerobes. They get energy through the anaerobic respiration. In the absence of oxygen, glucose breaks down into alcohol and carbon dioxide. See this balancing equation. Chemical equation is occur. You might know the yeast are the single celled organisms. They respire anaerobically during the process of yield alcohol. They are therefore used to make wine and beer, or for preparation of dosa and all that. Batter is used. Our muscle cells can also respire anaerobically, but only for a short time. When there is a temporary deficiency of oxygen, like during heavy exercise or fast running, cycling, walking for many hours, or heavy weight lifting, the demand of energy is high, but the supply of oxygen to produce the energy is limited. Then anaerobic respiration takes place in the muscles cell to fulfill the demand of energy. The cramps occur when muscle cells respire anaerobically. The partial breakdown of glucose produces lactic acid, and the accumulation of lactic acid causes muscles cramps. We get relief from the cramps after a hot water bath or a massage. Hot water or a bath or massage improves circulation of blood, or as a result the supply of oxygen to the muscle cell increases. The increase in the supply of oxygen results in the complete breakdown of lactic acid into carbon dioxide and water. Next is breathing. Breathing contains two parts. First one is inhalation and exhalation. Remember these two words also. Inhalation means in and exhalation means exit or out. The taking in of air rich in oxygen into the body is called inhalation, and the giving out of air rich in carbon dioxide outside the body is called exhalation. Breathing is a continuous process which goes on all the time and throughout the life of the organisms. The number of times a person breathes in a minute is termed as the breathing rate. It means breathing is equal to inhalation plus exhalation. When a person needs extra energy, they breathe faster, more oxygen is supplied. Speed of breaking down of food and more energy is released. An adult human beings at rest breathes in and out 15 to 18 times in a minute. During heavy exercise, the breathing rate can increase up to 25 times per minute. The breathing rate of a person is the slowest when he is sleeping, because minimum energy is required by the body during sleep. Now, how do we breathe? Nostrils are having the hairs, and that hairs are protectors from the dust which are present on the air. When we inhale the air inside our body, and that hair are protectors to enter the dust from inside our body. Our nose has two holes which are called nostrils. There is a passage in the nose behind the nostrils are called nostril cavity. Normally we take in air through our nostrils. When we inhale air, it passes through our nostrils into the nasal cavity. From the nasal cavity, the clean, moist and warm air passes into the trachea, or we can say that windpipe. The trachea branches into two thinner tubes are called bronchi, which are enters the lungs. The lungs are present in the chest cavity, and it is surrounded by ribs. Muscular diaphragm forms floor of the chest cavity. Breathing involves the movement of chest and diaphragm During inhalation, ribs moves up and downward and diaphragm moves down. This movement increases the space in our chest cavity and air rushes into the lungs. And during exhalation, ribs moves down and inwards while diaphragms move up to its performer position. This reduces the size of the chest cavity and air is pushed out of the lungs. I will demonstrate the mechanism of breathing by the process of these two balloons. The action of rubber sheet in this activity shows how we inhale and exhale air during breathing with the help of the downward and upward movement of diaphragm in our body. When the diaphragm moves downward during inhaling, the lungs are filled with air, but when the diaphragm moves upward during exhalation, then the air is forced to go out of the lungs. Now you have understood the mechanism of breathing. What we breathe out: carbon dioxide and water vapors. Let us demonstrate with these things with one activity. Okay, take a plastic bottle or a clean glass, make a hole in its lid and fix it on the bottle. Pour some freshly prepared lime water in the glass or a plastic bottle. Insert a plastic straw through the hole in the lid in such a way that it dips in the lime water. Blow gently through the straw a few times. Now, what do you observe? The lime water in the glass or a plastic bottle turns milky. Conclusion is that the exhaled air contains carbon dioxide because the carbon dioxide gas turns lime water milky. So we conclude that the carbon dioxide gas is produced during respiration. Let us perform the another activity to show that the exhaled air contains water vapors. Take a mirror, exhale or breathe out air from your mouth on a clean mirror. The clean mirror becomes cloudy. You may even find some water vapor on the mirror. The air we breathe out contains water vapor. These water vapors condense on the mirror surface to form tiny droplets of water. The amount of oxygen, carbon dioxide and water vapor inhaled and exhaled air is given below. Just see this. Inhaled air 21% of oxygen and 0.04% carbon dioxide, and exhaled air 16.4% oxygen and 4.4% of carbon dioxide. I hope you will understand the process or what is the mechanism of breathing, respiratory system, isn't it? That's all for now. In our next class we will continue with our rest of topic.